Hello, everybody. How's your headspace? Welcome to episode 20. All change, please. This career terminates here. Let me begin by asking you this. Are you truly happy with your career? Do you wake up in the morning looking forward to going to work? Or do you wake up with anxiety and dread? Study results differ. From 55 to a whopping 80% of Brits currently hate their job or career path. What are we doing, people? What are we doing? Do you know what day the most heart attacks happen on? It's Monday mornings. One can only assume it's due to the dread and the stress of another work week doing something that we hate. Now, I'm not saying to go and quit your job on a whim, but how much longer are you going to suffer? How long until you become one of those 55 to 80% Monday morning statistics? Let me ask you this. If you absolutely knew you couldn't fail, what would you be doing for a career? Let's put it another way. If you could have your time again, would you still choose the same path? You see, we love to moan about our situation. We say things like, oh, the pay was rubbish this month, or the pay rise was an insult this year. We're overworked and we're underpaid. But we can all talk the talk, but who can walk the walk? Who actually has the balls to pull the trigger? What you often forget is that little word choice. You have the choice to change. Change is very scary, and people like predictability. Better the devil you know, right? Change invokes fear, and fear is a powerful tool. It can hold you prisoner, or it can serve as fuel to propel you forwards. I know this to be true because a few days ago I pulled the trigger. I felt the fear and did it anyway. For those that don't know, I hung up my security license for the last time after nearly 20 years. I've spent the last 15 years working in some of the world's most luxurious and exclusive venues in London. I've met some of the biggest movie stars, sports stars, and people like world leaders. I've shook hands and been in official visit photographs. I've escorted these people as part of their security, and that's been exciting at times. But on the flip side, I've also worked in some clubs and pubs, dealing with some of the most violent, bare-knuckle snot-face, tell you my life story in 10 minutes, sniff-head pricks venues. I've worked in places where you wipe your feet on the way in, and some on the way out. Cortisol and adrenaline that runs through your body for nearly 20 years. It's damaging. I was young and handsome when I started, but the security industry is a strange mistress. What it can give with one hand, it takes away with the other. Mainly my bloody hair. But what it gave me was a massive understanding of people, of human behaviour. It heightened my sixth sense. I could see things unfolding before they happened. It taught me about how people react to sudden catastrophe. I've seen some of the supposed best snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. They turned away from fear instead of face it. What it needs is decision makers, clear, concise plans of action. You need leaders who will lead from the front and give others the confidence to follow. Some of the things I've been involved in, it seems strange to say this out loud, but I started to enjoy chaos. I felt most at peace when serious incidents were happening. Mass brawls, armed robberies, medical emergencies, blood, snot, tears and fears. That would actually be a good title for an album. I could be wrestling with dangerous people, often more than one at a time, and it would be really peaceful, dead quiet, slow motion, but I can still move like normal. It was a ghastly tranquility. I could be choking one person with their own jumper while sweeping the other off their feet. I'm not really sure what that meant in the moment, but I had pure clarity, psychopathic peace, if you like. I didn't feel anything until it was over, and that's when the adrenaline hit, the wobble that makes you want to shake apart. The stunned work colleagues, the normal people who watch that kind of thing through the safety of a laptop, would be left stunned. But this is real life. It takes its toll though, all this action, all these huge adrenaline dumps, the fight or flight. I'm very jumpy. The worst thing you could do to me is jump out on me for a joke. I will likely whack and ask later. I thrash about in the night, thinking that I'm fighting. My poor missus. I frighten the shit out of her, lashing out and shouting, waking up in a pool of sweat with my heart beating out of my chest. The endless nights, laying in bed when the whole world is still, worrying about what threats I will be dealing with at X, Y, and Z event tomorrow. The upside down long shifts, 12-hour days and 12-hour nights. Your body doesn't know if it should be eating, sleeping, or shitting. That life is not sustainable forever. Running on 5 hours sleep a night and on high alert, it drains your batteries pretty quickly. I woke up one morning and said, today's the day. For at least a year, I was saying, I don't want to do this today. This isn't making me happy. I pulled the trigger and I began working my month's notice with no other job lined up. Now, I'm not suggesting here that you should go out and do that, but that's what it took. I had to back myself into the corner, so I had no other choice but to act. Exercise the choice of change. I feel like a cat on its 8th life. 9 and it's lights out. I've made the national news on several occasions and had a few attempts on my life, so now I bow out gracefully. It feels bittersweet, almost like self-sabotage in a way. It's like my brain said, oh, you're good at what you do. The wages are okay, things are going well. Let's mess it up for funsies. But everything happens for a reason though. And what's meant for you won't pass you by. I'm sure I will find fulfillment again in another industry. My proudest moments though, over the last 20 odd years, it's not facing off against armed robbers and not fighting against multiple people at once and living to tell the tale, but making the good people of the hospitality and security industry proper belly laugh. I'm talking dropping to the floor, laughing at the most inappropriate moments, usually after witnessing trauma or a terrible incident. It's what breaks the anxiety and the tension. There is some real diamonds in hospitality, literally holding other staff members' heads above water and keeping entire businesses together with not a lot of resources. You are literal angels. You made the days more bearable by just your presence alone. It's the people who make the place. I've done everything that I've wanted to do. I've achieved everything I've wanted to achieve. I've met all the people I wanted to meet. I've made friends for life. It's been an honour. It's been emotional. It's been an eye-opening experience. But now the protector needs protecting. Time for a quieter life. I hope this story has given you food for thought about your own careers and happiness. I want to finish by saying this. A job is what you get paid for. Your calling is what you were made for. Don't forget to ask your nearest and dearest, how's your headspace?